4 days from today, something happens that most American investors have never had the ability to act on. SK Hynix, the company that supplies more high-bandwidth memory to Nvidia than anyone else on Earth, starts trading directly on the Nasdaq. This isn't a small listing. SK Hynix is targeting up to $29.4 billion in this offering. Several financial outlets are already calling it one of the largest share sales in history, right behind SpaceX's record-breaking $86 billion IPO from June, and in the same conversation as Saudi Aramco's 2019 listing and Alibaba's 2014 New York debut. To be precise here, since the ranking matters, Alphabet also raised roughly $85 billion in a separate stock offering earlier in June, so SK Hynix isn't literally the second largest of any kind, but among comparable public listings, it's genuinely one of the biggest capital raises the market has ever seen. And here's the part that makes this urgent rather than just interesting. This is happening on a specific date, July 10th, and it directly affects two stocks most of you already watch closely, Micron and Nvidia. Today on Future AI Stocks, I'm John A.G., and we're breaking down exactly what this listing is, why it matters, and what it could mean for the stocks already in your portfolio. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. If you're new here, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's get into it. First, an important correction to how this is being framed in some headlines. SK Hynix isn't going public on July 10th. It's already a public company. It's been trading on the Korea exchange for decades. What's happening is a secondary listing through something called an American Depository Receipt, or ADR. Here's the simplest way to understand it. SK Hynix's real shares stay in Korea, held by a custodian bank. A U.S. depository bank, in this case Citibank, then issues certificates that represent a slice of those Korean shares, and those certificates trade on the Nasdaq in U.S. dollars through any normal American brokerage account. No Korean brokerage account, no currency conversion, no navigating a foreign exchange. The structure here: each ADR represents 1/10 of one Korean common share. SK Hynix is issuing roughly 17.79 million new underlying shares, which converts to about 177.9 million ADRs, priced indicatively around 255,500 Korean won each, roughly $165 per ADR based on current exchange rates. Bookbuilding, the process where underwriters gauge institutional demand and set the final price, runs from July 6th to July 9th, with trading beginning July 10th and settlement on July 14th. The lead underwriters are Bank of America, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, and JP Morgan, four of the largest investment banks in the world, which tells you how seriously Wall Street is treating this deal. Every dollar raised has a specific destination: building out the Yongin semiconductor cluster in Gyeonggi Province, constructing the Cheongju P&T7 advanced packaging facility specifically for HBM chips, and buying extreme ultraviolet lithography machines, the multi-hundred-million-dollar equipment needed to manufacture next-generation memory. To understand why this listing is such a big deal, you have to understand what SK Hynix actually does. It's the world's largest supplier of high-bandwidth memory, or HBM, the specialized memory stacked directly onto AI accelerators to feed them data fast enough to actually use their processing power. According to Counterpoint Research, SK Hynix controlled roughly 57% of the global HBM revenue market as of the most recent reporting period, more than Samsung and Micron combined. The business has been extraordinary lately. SK Hynix's operating profit hit a record 37.61 trillion won, about $25.4 billion, in the most recent quarter, beating analyst estimates of 35.7 trillion won. Sales nearly tripled year over year to 52.58 trillion won. Its sole listed shares have quadrupled so far in 2026, and the company has overtaken Samsung Electronics as South Korea's most valuable company, the first time that's happened in more than 2 decades. So here's the natural question. If the business is already this strong, why raise $29.4 billion right now? 2 reasons. First, capital need. Building the kind of advanced packaging and fabrication capacity HBM requires costs tens of billions of dollars, and SK Hynix is also building a new $4 billion advanced packaging plant in Indiana, its first U.S. manufacturing facility. Second, and just as important, a valuation gap. Despite record profits, SK Hynix has historically traded at a lower valuation multiple than its U.S.-listed rival Micron. largely because global institutional money simply couldn't easily access Korean-listed shares. HSBC analysts estimate that improved access from this listing could lift SK Hynix's price-to-book ratio from roughly 2.8 to 3.4, about a 20% re-rating, simply from opening the stock to a much larger pool of global capital. There's also a near-term catalyst worth marking on your calendar. SK Hynix reports its second quarter 2026 earnings on July 29th, just 3 weeks after this listing, with revenue expected to jump further to roughly 82.46 trillion won. Anyone buying the ADR on day one is effectively also making a bet on how that earnings report lands 3 weeks later. Micron is the stock most Western investors have used to play the AI memory boom, largely because, until now, it was the easiest one to actually buy. That ease of access premium has been real. Micron's numbers are genuinely extraordinary in their own right. As of early July 2026, the stock trades around $975 to $1,030, with a market capitalization near $1.1 trillion, up roughly 700 to 800% over the past year, making it one of the best performing stocks in the entire S&P 500. Despite that run, some analysts still describe Micron as reasonably valued relative to its current earnings power, given record customer contracts, including a new long-term strategic supply agreement with General Motors for automotive memory, and HBM supply that's sold out through 2027, extending into 2028. Here's the direct connection to today's topic. Multiple analysts, including strategists at HSBC, have specifically framed the SK Hynix ADR listing as a mechanism to close the valuation gap between SK Hynix and Micron. For years, Micron carried a premium simply because it was the accessible, dollar-denominated way to bet on the memory shortage. SK Hynix, despite arguably stronger HBM market share and record profitability, traded at a discount because most US and European fund managers couldn't easily buy it. Starting July 10th, that access barrier disappears. This doesn't necessarily mean bad news for Micron. Both companies are riding the same underlying memory supercycle, and demand for HBM currently outstrips supply industry-wide. But it does mean investors now have a second, arguably comparable way to get direct exposure to the same trend. And some of the capital that's been concentrated in Micron because of pure accessibility could start flowing toward SK Hynix once the ADR is live. Worth flagging for balance, investor Michael Burry has disclosed a short position against Micron specifically, alongside similar bearish bets against Nvidia and Tesla, arguing that parts of the semiconductor sector have become overextended after this year's run. Micron also recently became one of several defendants, alongside Samsung and SK Hynix, named in a class action lawsuit alleging anti-competitive pricing practices across the memory industry. Both are live, unresolved situations worth knowing about, not settled conclusions. Nvidia doesn't manufacture memory. Every H200, every Blackwell chip, every next-generation accelerator Nvidia designs needs HBM stacked onto it by an outside supplier. And SK Hynix has been Nvidia's largest, most established HBM partner for multiple product generations running. This matters for how you should think about the July 10th listing. Nvidia currently trades around $194 to $200, with a market capitalization near $4.7 trillion, and its own quarterly guidance depends heavily on being able to actually source enough HBM to build the systems it's selling. Reports throughout 2026 indicate Nvidia has allocated a majority of its next-generation HBM for demand specifically to SK Hynix for its upcoming Vera Rubin platform, meaning SK Hynix's capacity expansion plans, funded in large part by this $29.4 billion raise, directly determine how many AI chips Nvidia is physically able to ship in 2027 and beyond. In other words, this isn't really a story about one Korean semiconductor company listing on a US exchange. It's a capital event for the single most important supplier constraint sitting underneath the entire NVIDIA AI build-out. If SK Hynix successfully raises this money and gets the Yongin cluster and Cheongju packaging facility built on schedule, that's more HBM supply reaching NVIDIA sooner. If the raise underwhelms or construction slips, that bottleneck persists longer, and NVIDIA's own growth trajectory feels it indirectly. Let's be direct about the risks, because a capital raise this large carries real, specific ones. Pricing risk on day one. Analysts will be watching closely whether SKHY opens above or below its roughly $165 indicative price. HSBC's bullish 20% re-rating thesis assumes strong global institutional demand shows up immediately. If it doesn't, if the ADR opens flat or at a discount to its Korean share equivalent, that would suggest the valuation gap thesis is weaker than currently priced in. The July 29th earnings overlap. Because SK Hynix reports Q2 results just 3 weeks after this listing, anyone buying on day one is also implicitly betting on that report. A strong beat compounds positively with the new listing. A disappointing quarter could hit a freshly listed stock particularly hard. Broader market signal. Several market commentators have pointed out that SK Hynix's raise is arriving in the same weeks as SpaceX's record IPO and Alphabet's record stock offering. A cluster of historically large capital raises all in mid-2026. Some analysts view this pattern historically as a sign that insiders and companies see current valuations as full rather than as pure confidence in future growth. That's a market-wide observation, not specific to SK Hynix, but worth knowing: sector-wide cyclicality. Memory has always been one of the most boom-bust industries in technology. Sold out through 2027 and 2028 describes today's reality. It has also been the exact language used right before every previous memory downturn in history. Michael Burry's short against Micron and the pending class action lawsuit against Micron, Samsung, and SK Hynix are both live reminders that this sector's current strength is not universally viewed as risk-free or permanent. Execution risk. The entire thesis depends on SK Hynix actually completing the Yongin cluster and Cheongju packaging facility on the timelines described. Large semiconductor construction projects routinely face delays. Here's the frame for everything we just covered. July 10th isn't just a listing date. It's a valuation event for the entire memory sector. SK Hynix gets direct access to the deepest capital markets in the world and a shot at closing a long-standing valuation gap with Micron. Micron faces its first real, easily accessible US-listed competitor for investor capital in this space. And Nvidia's own supply chain gets a capital injection aimed directly at the bottleneck constraining how fast it can ship AI chips. SK Hynix, SKHY, the dominant HBM supplier, now directly accessible to US and European investors for the first time with a specific re-rating thesis tied to this listing. Micron, MU, the incumbent US-listed way to play this trade, facing new direct competition for investor attention and capital. Nvidia, NVDA, not directly part of the listing, but the company whose entire AI chip output depends on how much HBM capacity this $29.4 billion ultimately builds. None of this is a recommendation. All three are worth understanding as you watch how July 10th and July 29th actually play out. That's everything you need to know before SK Hynix lists on the Nasdaq on July 10th, what it actually is, why it's happening now, and how it connects directly to Micron and Nvidia. If this helped you understand a listing most coverage is treating as just another IPO headline, hit that like button. It helps future AI stocks reach more investors who want research, not hype. Drop a comment and tell me, are you watching SKHY's opening trade on July 10th or sticking with Micron? I read every one. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell icon. I'm John AG. I'll see you in the next one.